darlings, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be creating a video for you guys and giving you my best tips and tricks on how to create the best makeup, whether it is a night out or a wedding or just an everyday makeup for you. So yeah, let's just jump right in. The first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is primer. I actually used to not believe in primer. I thought it was a waste of money and that you didn't need it. But I found out through experience that you do, because I noticed that my makeup was coming off, it wasn't lasting long. My skin is very oily, so that had a bigger effect on it. So I decided to go out and try some primers. Actually, the very first primer that I've tried, I don't have it with me right now, but it was the Bare Minerals Blemish Remedy primer. It's on retail for $20 and it was amazing. I still use it and I love it. I like it because it just made my skin matte, but not so matte where I felt it was like drying my skin out. It was just perfect, and I love Bare Minerals. I actually recommend it to anybody who has acne or has very sensitive skin. I absolutely love Bare Minerals. That was the first one, and then from there on I decided to try out from drugstore products to high-end. The first drugstore product that I tried was the Maybelline Master Prime by Face Studio Primer. I really like that primer. I decided to try and spend a little bit more money on something that maybe would last me longer, or that I would just enjoy more. So I decided to go to Sephora and I did try out the Too Faced Primed Poreless Skin Smoothing Face Primer.
No, you used that. Yeah.
This primer worked really good for me because I do struggle with large pores, and not only does it allow my makeup to last longer, but it allows my makeup to apply very smooth. Then I also decided to try, this is the, I don't know if it's the US or world's most popular primer in retail right now, but it's the Smashbox, the original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. I actually didn't buy this before I tried it. It was at my sister's wedding, and the girl who did my makeup used it on me, and I asked her what she was using and she told me, and I fell in love with it because I danced and I sweat and I was oily, and it made my makeup last all night long. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about are foundations. Foundations are the foundation to your makeup, and depending on the type of skin is the type of foundation that you should have. Now I'm going to be showing you guys the foundations that I love the most. I have oily skin. I have some days normal to oily, some days really oily, just depending, of course, on the weather and my skin itself. So I'm going to be showing you guys the foundations that work best for my skin type. The first and foremost foundation that I absolutely love, it is probably my holy grail. I absolutely love it just because a little goes a long way. And even though it is on the higher end of the market, even though it is on the higher end of the price point, it's bomb. It's bomb. And this is the Dior Air Flash Spray Foundation in the shade 203. It gives my skin a nice tan almost, but it doesn't make my neck look different from my face. So I love that. The pigment is absolutely amazing. The second is that it doesn't come off easily. Is it waterproof? Yes, water resistant. No wonder I love it so much. It's very long wear and it is water resistant, which I absolutely love. Sephora's website, and this retails for $62. So it is a little bit more on the expensive side, but it is definitely worth every single penny. I got this foundation in June, and there's still lots in there. It lasts a long time. A little goes a long way, and I just apply it with my beauty blender. Every foundation that I use, I apply with the wet sponge just because I feel like it leaves the nicest finish to your skin. I love so much. Oh my goodness, I love this. Actually, I have to tell you guys a secret. This foundation is the foundation that got me so into makeup and so just into doing makeup. This is the Marc Jacobs Bisque Medium Genius Gel Supercharged Foundation. This foundation is a foundation that I will always have in my makeup collection. This foundation does retail for $55. It says for combination skin, it's a 24-hour full flawless coverage. What else does it say? And it is a soft matte finish, which is the reason why I love it so much. I cannot do dewy foundations just because it looks nice when I apply it, but when I go out the door, even if I spray setting spray, it's a hot mess. I'm very oily. The third foundation that I really like and that I've been recently using a lot in my video, actually, I think I've used it in all my videos. It's the Too Faced Born This Way Coverage Foundation Oil Free in the shade Ivory. It retails for $39. So it is cheaper, and it has a full coverage to it. I really like it so far with the primer because I am using the primer with it. It applies nice and it lasts all day, so I have no complaints. It's definitely not a foundation that I would wear to a wedding or to just a very important event. I think it's more of a everyday, more affordable type of foundation. The next foundation is a touchy topic just because I've heard all kinds of mixed reviews, and before I actually went out and purchased it, I was a little scared. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wearing Foundation in the shade 150. I heard all kinds of mixed reviews about this foundation. I first heard that it was oxidating on some skins, that it wouldn't last long, that it would break, that it would crease. What I like about this foundation is that when you apply it, it leaves almost like a flat finish to it. It's not glowy, but it's not super matte, and it's not very full coverage, so it's definitely something that you could wear every day, or just kind of you just want to throw in some mascara and just walk out the door. But now let's move on to things that I don't like about this foundation. It doesn't last how it applies when you first apply it, versus like the Dior Backstage or the Marc Jacobs. Once you apply them like that, it lasts on me personally all day long. And with the Fenty Beauty foundation, even if I put primer on, when I apply it, it applies really nicely, but as the day goes on, it doesn't oxidate, it doesn't change color, but it does get oily. If I just want to wear something light, nothing over the top, I will grab this and I will use it. This does retail for, let me see, $34. So about the same price point as the Too Faced Born This Way. Last but not least, I do want to talk to you about a foundation that I love from the drugstore and that I've been buying for years. And this is the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation 24-Hour Foundation by L'Oreal in the shade 102. It wears up to 24 hours, which I've never lasted 24 hours with makeup, but I've gotten close to it and it does last a long time. It's a semi-matte finish and its texture is air light. It has oil control, and I really like this foundation just because it doesn't crease on me, it doesn't make me oily, it stays how I apply it, and I think it says a lot for a foundation that retails for $10. So a big thumbs up for this baby right here. Now let's move on to concealers, and there's only one concealer that I'm going to talk about, and it is my all-time favorite, my holy grail. It is the Tarte Shape Tape. It's full coverage. I am a full coverage type of girl. Just because if you just don't want to wear any foundation, you could just apply a little bit of concealer under your eyes and on your T-zone and you're good to go. Another reason why I like this concealer is because it is so long wearing and it doesn't crease. I found myself with other types of concealers that as the day goes by, I have to continue to set it or put more powder just so it's not creasing under my eyes, especially when I'm constantly smiling. I have gotten so many questions of what is baking, what kind of product do I use, how long do I apply it for, what's the difference between baking and setting. So first off, let's talk about my favorite powders that I use for baking. And the first one is the Cover FX Matte Setting Powder. When I decided to try it because I saw a lot of people using it and I actually really like it. The second one is the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. The difference between setting and baking is the amount of time and product that you're applying to your skin. When you set your face, you can grab any sort of brush and just dip the powder and just set as so. But when you're baking, I personally use I don't know if there's any other way. This is the only way that I've tried and it has worked excellent for me. I grab a wet sponge that I've used to apply my foundation and concealer, and I don't get it wet again. I just leave it as is. And I dip the sponge in the powder and I grab a generous amount like that. And then I apply it onto my skin, pressing that there like that. And I let it sit for about 5, maybe 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. You're allowing the powder to absorb your facial oils and melting the foundation into your skin so it lasts all day long. This technique actually is used way back in the day for drag queens and people who were on stage with these hot lights on them 24/7 so the makeup didn't melt and come off. So after you leave this on your face for about 5 to 10 minutes, it does not matter. I'm just going to brush this off like that. Not only does it give you a bright finish and it's highlighting your under eye, which is also what you want, but it is locking your foundation so that it doesn't leave for the rest of the day. Some of my favorite highlighters are, oh girl, I got highlighters for days. The first one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter. Oh God, I'm gonna attempt to say this. Amrezi. We're going with it. Amrezi. Good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I love this highlight. I think that the color of highlight is also very important depending on the type of look that you're going for. If you're going for a bronzy look, then a golden highlight would be nice. If you're going for a neutral look, then maybe like a whitish, pearly highlight would be best. So the second one that I really like is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Lighting Dust and Fire Crystal Highlighting Palette. I love this because it's just a nice, I want to say it has like a brown, not I want to say brown, but almost like a rose gold tint. This is from Castra's Cosmetics. It's the highlighting powder, and I like this highlighter too just because it's very subtle. And it goes with any neutral, natural look that you're going for. This highlighter has been one of my top favorites just because I used to not be into loose highlighters. I thought that the pressed ones worked better for me until I tried the Kylie Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Fiji. And I'm gonna swatch it for you. It has such a beautiful rose gold tone to it. I'm 100% in love with the Morphe sponge. First reason is the price point. I think it's really affordable. I think it's $7 or $8. And I like the angle that it has just because you can rotate if you're just applying your foundation, and if you want like more of a pointy angle, you can get that concealer right in, or your setting powder. The second one that I am in love with, it's velvet and it feels so nice on the skin. I'm just so in love with it. I actually found this. Nikki Tutorials was using it, and when she saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's velvet. Like, it has to be awesome. So I ordered it, and I'm in love with it. I really like it. I think it's just a fun little sponge, something different. My favorite setting spray is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, just because it's A, affordable. B, the way it sprays is super nice. A lot of the setting sprays, you have to go like over and over again. And this is just a nice mist that you just hold like that. And I really like it. Oh, it smells delicious on top of that. I have oily skin, and I haven't found this to affect my makeup in any negative way, so I like it, and I'm sticking with it. The last product that I want to talk to you guys about is the MAC Fix Plus. I love the MAC Fix Plus, not to set my face, just because it has a dewy finish, and I don't do dewy. But I love to use this spray when I'm applying my shadows. It gives it a metallic look, and I will never go back. When you just spray 1-2 times your brush with it, and then dip it in your eyeshadow and apply, it changes your game, and once you start, you don't stop. Thank you for sitting here chit-chatting with me. I wanted to get this out of the way just because, and give you guys an insight on basic things that a lot of people don't know, especially those that are not hugely into makeup. Just because when I'm filming or I'm creating a video for you and I'm like, oh, well, you know, just dab that and then just leave it off for 5 minutes. You're like, why are you leaving it off for 5 minutes? So I wanted to tell you guys what baking is and the importance of it, and when to use it, when to not use it. It's definitely not necessary. You don't have to bake every time you do your makeup, but it's something that you could definitely do when you are looking for a long-lasting makeup. So thank you for being a part of this and giving me your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit that bell button for notifications, and I will see you on my next. Stay tuned because I do have a Christmas look coming up. Bye, darlings.